Hello everybody, welcome to the interesting show.
Hi everyone, I'm Janet.
I'm Irene.
So what are we going to talk about today?
Today I'm gonna share my New Zealand journey.
That's interesting. So how many days you spent there?
When I arrived, we spent about 10 days.
Oh, that is quite a long.
Not include the flight day. Actually, we take the flight for 14 hours from Taoyuan to Auckland.
So it's a straight flight.
No. We have a international transmit in Brisbane, in Australia.
In Australia.
Yeah. So actually, I don't think it takes like that much time than what I expect. If you just fly straight to Auckland, you need to spend 11 hours. So actually, we only spend 3 to 4 more hours. It's not that much than what I expect. Yeah. So totally, the journey is for 10 days, and I'm going there with my mom. And because my sister she has a working holiday there right now, so we visit her, and we travel together.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like family trip.
So where exactly that you have your journey there in the New Zealand?
Oh, okay. Actually, New Zealand has like 2 islands, like North Island and South Island. So mostly people, if you want to travel both islands, like people will suggest you can spend 2 weeks or above, like 2 weeks to a month. When I arrived there, I found out that so many people spend probably like 3 weeks or a month to travel there. So actually it's a really long journey, or it's a very long itinerary, but we only have 10 days, so it's actually very rushed time for us. But yeah, because we are so greedy, we wanted to see a lot of spots, scenery, or we want to do a lot of activities, so we try to like squeeze out time and try to like every place that we wanted to be. Basically we doing a DIY trip. Like we didn't have a guide or something, because as I said, that my sister is there and she is kind of like tour guide actually. So she arranged the most of the whole itinerary. So we have a road trip because she has a car. So we will drive through like the whole trip, and me and she will take over to driving.
Oh, so you actually drive there by yourself?
Oh yeah. So the first day is actually we take the flight to Auckland, and me and my mother spend a night in Auckland, and the next day we take the flight, their domestic flight, to Queenstown. It's like a big town, in a very famous tourist town in South Island. So we take flight there, and then my sister pick us up there. This is how we start our journey.
So
there.
she lives in the South Island?
Yeah. What we plan is like we meet in South Island, and we will drive like more place as we can, and then we will take the boat. The boat can like carry our vehicle, like cars or something.
Oh.
Then you will from the South Island to the North Island. Then we take the boat, and then we can travel in the North Island. So my sister just
you actually park the
there.
car on the boat?
Yeah.
On the big ship?
Yeah, big ship. Okay, so this is our itinerary.
Okay.
It's very rushed, but if you guys wanted to visit there, you can like take it for a suggestion.
Reference, yeah.
Yeah, but I recommend that if you have more time, I highly recommend that you spend more days. Yeah. Probably 2 weeks would be better.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to travel both islands. So the first stop is like we started in Queenstown in the South Island, and then we go to a town called Fox Glacier. It's actually a very famous village for if you want to do ice hiking.
Ice hiking.
Yeah, it's very famous for that. That's what we did there. And then we went to Christchurch. It's a very famous town. I think probably you heard of that. And then we went to Picton. It's where we took the ship. If you want to take the ship, you need to go there, and then you can take the ship, go to North Island. And then we went to Wellington. Actually, Wellington is the capital of the New Zealand. But probably the most famous city is Auckland. And then we went to a town called Taupo. And then we went to Waitomo, Rotorua. And then we went to Auckland. I think everyone knows where New Zealand is. It's like in the south of the earth. So it has a different time and season with us. We didn't do a whole round of the island. But I think if you have time, or if I have time or opportunity in the future, I probably wanted to do that. And actually, a lot of people will rent camping car there.
Oh.
When I was like planning to go there, when I doing some like homework, I found out that actually a lot of people would do that. Like,
But you probably need to spend like maybe over 3 weeks, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't do that because you basically just live in like a car.
yeah, so it's an option if you wanted to have a road trip there. If you have enough time, I think it would be a great option because like you rent a car and you don't have to find a place to live to stay the night. So, but you need to find some like camping spot. In New Zealand, you can't like randomly park your car on the road. Or
Usually,
beside the road.
you need to go to like a collecting area there where they park those camping.
They have
truck,
a
right?
very strict rule on that. Also, I found out that New Zealand people and their government is very strict to how to protect their nature or their environment, which I think is a very good thing. I think I barely see any like trash on the street or on the road. It's a very, very I don't know if you're in
Very
Taiwan
uncommon
or if you're in Taiwan, I think it's
trash
very
everywhere.
very easily to see any trash on the street or everywhere.
Yeah.
But in there, I barely see any. Like they're very clean and they're very protect their environments. So go back to our journey. We have a road trip, but we didn't rent a camp car. So we spend some nights on hotel or motel for the car. There is a lot of motel there because like the place is very big there. Everyone drive a car. It's like very common vehicle there. If you want to do a trip there but you don't have any car, it's okay because I saw some people do that. When we visit there, we meet some people, they do that, but you need to take the public vehicle like bus or something. It would take more time. Like for example, if you wanted to from Taupo to Rotorua, if you have a car, you drive it through there, probably you only need to like 3 to 4 hours or 2 to 3 hours. But if you take a bus, it might take you like 8 hours.
Oh, that's pretty long. Is it convenient there, like the public transportation?
No, I think it's no.
Not
because
at all.
like I don't know about a city place, but if you wanted to travel like from town to another town, it would be really hard for that. They usually like have only 1 or 2 bus per day. I think it's not that convenient, and sometimes you need to like if you want to go to from like what I say Taupo to Rotorua, you can't just straight go there. Probably you need to go somewhere else and then go to there.
Oh,
They don't have like a straight
train or a straight
yeah.
bus to go their place. Wow, that is very inconvenient.
So yes, I think the most of the people went there will rent a car or something. Yeah, it would be more convenience.
Yeah.
And then okay, so what we said, you need to rent a car, right? So as a foreigner, how to drive a car in there is a very important thing.
Yeah.
So first of all, you need to like change and you need to get an international driver license. In Taiwan, it's very easily because we have a collaboration with New Zealand. So you only need to like apply in Taiwan and you bring it there. They will let you drive the car. Actually, it's quite easy. Like you can get there in any county or city vehicle office. And it's very convenient and faster than I think. I thought it would be probably a week or a couple days to get the license. But it only take like, I remember just 1 hour.
That's very fast.
Yeah. So I think it's very convenient. It's cost 250 NT dollars. It's not expensive.
It's okay though.
Yeah, it's okay though.
Yeah, it's okay.
And then when you arrive there, I think most of the people know that, but if you don't know, that New Zealand is like they drive on the left. In Taiwan or some place influenced by America, we drive on right. It means like our driver seat is on the left. But when we drive, we need to like on the right side. But in New Zealand, it's opposite. Like the driver seats is on the right side. But when you drive, you need to be on the left side.
How do you feel about that? Is it easy to get used to it?
Yeah, it's actually is easier than I thought.
Yeah.
Before I went there, I actually was quite nervous about that because I think it probably needs some time
You forgot to adjust.
Yeah,
to
or
it,
you were just like, naturally.
Suddenly forgot and then drive
Yeah,
on
and
the
it was
right
very
side.
dangerous. But it never happened.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I just feels like, it's not that difficult. And because there's another thing is like, the traffic is not like that heavy as Taiwan.
So how will you compare like driving in New Zealand feels like driving in which city in Taiwan?
Probably Hualien.
Oh.
Like, I mean, there's few cars there. So actually it's quite safe. The distance is far away from town to town.
Right.
So people usually like drive very fast there.
Oh.
So the one thing that made me nervous is about, because they quite interesting is like, because they have a very big land. They probably will have a lot of lanes for cars. But actually, there are like two lanes. It means that you only have one lane for one direction. So in the same time, only one car can pass by. But in some road, they will have some, they call it pass lane.
Past lane.
Yeah, about 10 kilometer. They will have one period of like place you can try to pass other car if you drive faster.
Oh.
What made me nervous is when I can't drive that fast.
But is it like the rule? You have to drive that fast?
No, but there is an interesting rule. It's like if you drive too slow and you don't let other cars to pass by, you will get punishment.
Oh.
Yeah, if you cause a traffic jam. If you are the first car, and there is like more than, I don't know the quantity, but probably is like there is like more than 5 cars behind you.
You need to let the cars behind you to drive by.
Yeah. If you feels like, there is too many cars behind you, you need to try to find some, although they are like two-way two lines, but in some road it will be more wider, so you probably can park over on the side.
And then to let them
Pull
drive
over. Yeah. So you need to find some chance to let other people to pass by you.
So you don't need to drive that fast.
Yeah, you don't need to. But if you realize that there's too many cars behind you, you need to do that things.
So did you ever got honked?
Only in the city. But in the town, I think the people there is like quite patient. If you drive not that fast, but you're not illegal. You're driving on the range of the speed. But there is a lot of people behind you. They never honk. I think they're quite patient. The other thing you might need to be careful is like there is really a lot of like animal or wild animal there. Because like they don't have too much of, I think it's artificial stuff. So like sometimes you would just see animals passing by. So you need to be careful of that. But in the nighttime, I think it's just the most dangerous time zone of that because, they don't have traffic light.
You mean they don't have street lights?
Oh, yeah, street light and also traffic light. They don't have traffic light.
They don't have that?
How
are you going to...
No, I mean seldom. Like only in city. Like if you're in town or a small town or something, they don't have traffic light. But they have a sign. I think probably some people know that. Like in some Western country, they will have a sign. It will just say stop or give way. The people there is very
civilized.
Yeah, and very strict to that rule. So they would just stop if they saw a stop sign or something. Another rule is like you always need to let the vehicle from your right to pass first. Like if you're in a crossroad, if I go straight and I saw one car is passing by this way, I need to stop to let their pass first.
Okay.
So they don't need traffic light. They would do that like naturally.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I heard of that too when I was in Croatia though. Like, just like no matter what, if they're on like a very big driveway, and usually if the car is like, on the smaller lane, they are going to driving into the major lane. Like the car on the right side always have to wait for the car on the left side.
Oh, it's
because the left
opposite.
side. Yeah, because the left side is the major lane.
Yeah, I think it's like it depends on how people will follow the rules. If they do that, I think
People will do that. Naturally do that.
Yeah,
if
you don't need
everyone
the
does
traffic.
that, everyone will follow that rules. I think.
I think the most of the story is the half is about the driving, because actually we spend like the half of time is driving.
How many like traveling spot that you set for like per day?
Probably 1 or to 2. Every day we need to drive about 4 to 5 hours
That's
per
so
day.
long.
Yeah, you can imagine.
How early you need to wake up?
Average is probably we wake up at 7
7?
a.m. and we sleep in 12.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty exhausted every day.
Oh
then.
my God.
This is our choice because we wanted to.
You want to
too
play
many-
hard.
Yeah, play hard. The interesting thing is like their alcohol test. I've been tested for twice in
while
this
driving?
Period. Yeah, in this
The
period
police
of time.
pull you over.
Oh yeah, and it's just like Taiwan. Like they will stay there and every
Also
car.
randomly check.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's like,
So every car needs to do that test. The funny thing is like their test machine is quite different with us, because what I expect is like, the situation is like that. When we drive and then we saw, okay, the cars in front of us started to slow down. And my sister say, because she lived there, so she know that. She was like, it was the alcohol testing. So you need to like slow down
And
and roll
line
down
up,
your
yeah.
window, and then they would test you.
Yeah.
And then it's my turn. In the same time, I would feel a little bit exciting and a little bit nervous because I think it's a quite funny experience. And that time I didn't drink anything. The police give me the like the machine, like it hold it like beside my mouth. It said a bunch of stuff, and I didn't like really catch the key point. I would just because
You
it
didn't
would,
get what he said.
Oh yeah. I think it's New Zealand accent, so I quite need some time to understand what they're talking about. But he talked very fast, so I didn't get it. But I just know it was a testing, and I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do right now, because I didn't see any stuff that I can blow or breathe.
You don't know how to conduct.
Yeah, because in Taiwan, if you do the alcohol testing, you need to.
Usually you have like a little straw.
Oh yeah.
You
You can
can
blow some air into
Yeah.
it, and I don't see any straw. So I was like, okay, how am I gonna do that? And he was like, you can start
Sing.
speaking. No. Okay, what I'm gonna talk about? And I was like, okay, hi, test. And he was like, what? And
This is not your concert, girl.
Yeah, and my sister like, no, you need to count. 1, 2, 5. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I was like, what? Okay. Then I count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the police was, I think he was thinking it's too ridiculous, so he was like laughing too. Yeah.
So cute though.
Yeah, and I passed. Yeah, of course. And my sister told me like, he probably confused. Like you seems like you are drunk.
Mid-year.
No. You seem like you're drunk, but you're not.
They didn't check your driving license.
Oh no. Yeah, I was quite surprised about that, but they didn't check. 你最近有出国留学计划的打算吗？或是正在准备雅思托福考试，分数却迟迟无法提升？
阳朔美语最近推出了雅思托福这2门线上先修课程，你只要到阳朔美语的官网注册会员，就可以在会员专区看到完整的影片哦。
太划算了吧！而且内容包含考试全项目、听说读写，由 Anthony、Jonathan、Alex、Sophie 老师轮番上阵，内容有趣且超有料。
而且如果你对雅思托福这2个课程的考试制度还没有这么清楚的话，或是你正要开始准备，赶快去会员专区注册看看吧。
I have like been export checked for my passport when I try to buy alcohol. They have a sign like, because I think they face this problem too many times, so they have most of the place, if they sell alcohol, they will have a sign that say, if you look like you're under 25, we need to check your passport. Sorry about that, but yeah.
I mean, how will you define that you look like you are under 18?
I mean, it just depends on them. If they think
they
you
feel
look like,
that,
yeah.
Okay.
So the sign is
Wow.
like, if we think you look like under
Oh,
25
okay. Their
years old.
standard.
Yeah, their standard. Because like, I think, yeah, most of the Asian people looks younger. Yeah. So they kind of confused about that.
Stereotypic talk.
But I think it's a good stereotype
thing.
in some way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been texted for like 2 times, I think, when I go to buy an alcohol.
It's just like in their like local shop.
Supermarket or in some.
Do they have convenience
place.
store, this kind of thing? No, or basically just more like private shop. It's not chain shop.
I think they probably have convenience store, but it's not what look like in Taiwan. I think it's kind of like a grocery store, but it's a smaller one. If it's not a supermarket, it's a smaller grocery store. When we think about New Zealand, we will think, oh, they are very beautiful and like they have a lot of natural sightseeing place. Mountain, river, or something. Lake, yeah, they have a lot of
super
lake.
big lakes.
Sometimes you just feels like it's like ocean.
You will definitely drown in there.
I haven't tried to swim in there.
No, but usually they will have a sign that you cannot.
I don't see any actually. I think there is like their common sense.
Oh, but did you try the water temperature?
Yeah, I just go
Is
touch
it cold? Very cold.
Not very cold, but it's just chilly.
Durable. Oh.
Yeah. Because when I went there, their weather is about 10 to 20 degree. It's quite chilly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So besides driving car there, so is there any interesting things happen? Like
in this whole journey, we have like expensive itinerary. We have cheap itinerary.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know that people will say that if you want to visit like New Zealand, if you go to some nature place, it's quite cheap because the nature is free. You just use your eyes to like
to feel
or to experience there. But if you want to try some activity, like anything
like sport, no.
Anything like you need to pay a ticket for that, it will be expensive.
Why is that?
I think because like tourists is one of their main economy income. So tourists is like activity is not cheap there, but it's quite fun. In the whole journey, you need to have at least 1 to 2 activities to do that. So the first thing we do is quite fun is ice hiking. As I mentioned, as we went to a village, it's called Fox Glacier.
Sorry.
As I mentioned, we went to a village called Fox Glacier.
Yeah.
The place is very famous for ice hiking. It's like a...
How did you get there? Is it on a mountain?
Yeah. Actually, we stay a night there. And then in the morning, we wake up pretty early to... They have a gathering place. They would like...
Pick you up and then go to the place.
Yeah. We are a group of people. They will have like 2 guider. So they took us from bus to there. And then we took the helicopter. It's quite a cool experience there.
So cool.
Yeah. And
so
then
you wear the headphones.
Oh yeah. You need to like wear this and then, but nothing happens. Like you can hear what captain is saying when they are like communicates with other people.
So can you chat? Can you chat on the helicopter, or you will just we interfere them?
No, we can just listen. Like we don't have a microphone.
Oh.
Yeah. So we can only listen what the captain wanted to say. Yeah. But the trip is so short. It's about 5 to 10 minutes.
Really?
I mean the flight. Because
the
like
flight.
The flight is like only just take you to a mountain. And then we arrive the mountain, we put on the like their equipment, like the shoes. I don't know what to call it.
Crampons.
So you can walk on the ice. You won't fall down or too slippery.
Ice.
What? We walk on the ice for like about 2 hours.
Oh, that's quite a long time.
It's like beautiful.
So it's warm or very cold?
It's okay because we wear a lot of coat and you will need to wear a glove. I think it's a really, really good experience and probably is the most memorable memory of this journey for me. When you working on the mountain, you would just feel like it's really a place that you won't see in Taiwan, or you can't imagine about it if you're not there. Wow, the nature is really
amazing.
Or the earth is like bigger than you thought. After that, we actually, when we didn't climb to the top of the mountain because it would take too many times.
But you can.
Yeah, I think it's like you need to.
They have different options.
Project. Yeah. But we choose probably just the easy.
Just walking.
Walking and for like 2 hours, you can't make it too high. But if you're professional, probably have different option just for if you want to go to the top of the mountain. Oh, I also drink the ice water.
The ice water.
Yeah. The guide found a place and then he showed us that you can drink water here. And I think it's like, it tastes just like a very cold water. but it's the good water, I think.
It's very clear.
Yeah, very clear and very fresh. But if you say it's it's really delicious or it's really like extraordinary sweet or tasty, I don't think it's that.
It's not that exaggerating.
Yeah, it's not that dramatic or exaggerating, but it tastes good. Yeah. When we off the Fox Glacier, we went to on the road. We went to a place called Hatika. It actually is not a very big town, but we have I think is in this journey is the best lamp. It's a restaurant beside the sea, so you can watch sea and then have the meal in the same time. So we ordered fries and chips. We ordered fish and chips. And actually I found out that fish and chips is quite famous there. I think it's probably because they are...
that sounds very British.
Yeah, because they used to be colonized by British. Yeah, so I think the culture and some food there is quite Western or quite British. And also the accent. Some people would say that Australia and New Zealand, they have a different accent. If we learn English I think most of the Taiwanese people learn English is in American style or American accents. So it would be a little difficult for us to understand what they are talking about. I think it's probably one of my culture shock, but not really shock because I expect that. But when I really arrived there, I found out that, I really need to stay very focused. Or sometimes I can't understand what they're talking about. I need to ask them again because they say too fast. Whatever, go back to the lamb. I think the lamb there in Hikata is one of the best lamb I have there. It cooked it very tender. And the gravy and the sauce is like quite good to make it so moisture. If you go there, I think it's a must-try food.
Very juicy?
Yeah, very tender and very juicy. And the fish and chips, I think is okay. And I think it's just fish and chips. But what I found out is like I quite like the potato they make there. I think it's very flavorful and very, very crispy. Yeah, we eat a lot of fish and chips. I mean, probably more than 10, I don't know.
More than 10?
More than 10 times.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, because when we don't know what to eat, we were just like, okay, fish and chips. And they sell fish and chips everywhere.
Like, so it's cheaper than other meals?
Probably. I think I didn't pay.
So it's just like the basic. But in Taiwan, it's like 卤肉饭.
Yeah, probably. You can find it in every menu of every restaurant. And then we went to the Christchurch. I think it's the second city or second famous city in New Zealand. We spent 2 nights there. It was a really good city. And I think it's very vivid. And we take a little boat there. You can tourist for the city. It's quite cool. And then we also went to a wildlife reserve. It's just like a zoo, I think, but it's more like, probably you would say it's more like a range or something in Taiwan. Like you can be very close to the animal, and sometimes you don't have the boundary between you and the animals. And I think it's quite cool because I think in New Zealand they tend to not have a lot of boundary
between human and the animals
because
lives
I
there.
think probably they think people will naturally respect the animals and not to interrupt them.
I think that is a very uneasy thing to do, though. Yeah.
But what I saw is like, people very nice to the animal. Like when they saw a sign that says you can't touch animal here, then nobody would touch it. Even though they don't have any boundary or something, they would just follow the rule. So I think that's probably is why they can do that. Also, we saw a very, very, I think probably people know that, very famous, and you can call it their national animal as kiwi bird.
Oh, so cute.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But I thought that was only in Australia.
Is it in Australia?
I thought that is also in Australia.
I'm not sure, but it's very famous in New Zealand. And actually, when you heard someone say kiwi, it actually means kiwi it can mean the bird.
And the
It
fruit.
also can mean the people.
The people.
Yeah,
Like
the
who?
local people.
Oh.
So you can call the local people kiwi. It's quite cute, right?
Is it a good word to call?
Yeah, it's a good word.
Oh.
Yeah, kiwi is a good word. It's just like they call
Like a
themselves.
nickname?
Yeah, like a nickname. It's not negative. It's probably a little positive. Like people will call themselves kiwi. Actually, some people will misunderstand that from like kiwi fruit. But actually, in New Zealand, they would call kiwi fruit just kiwi fruit. They won't call it kiwi. So when they say kiwi, it probably means the bird or probably means the people.
Oh.
Yeah, and actually, the kiwi fruit is named after the bird. So actually, it's like because they thought the fruit looks like kiwi birds. So they named the kiwi fruit.
Yeah.
So whatever we saw the birds, but the birds is like, because the bird is quite shy and they live in a nighttime, so they have a cage. So in that case, like they do a cage for that, a very, very big cage. Like, so we went to, it's just almost like a house. So you went to their house and the lights is all turned off. Then you can't, like they say you can take any picture or recording there because probably you will interrupt them. So you need to stay silent, and then you walk by there and you will see some little kiwi birds running, and they're very cute. They move fast and they will try to hide because they are shy. I think New Zealand is a really good place for someone like nature thing, or you like animals or wildlife, because they really have a lot of place, no matter it's like a zoo or you can just sit it in wild. I mean, sometimes on the road when you're driving, you probably see some wild animal. I think if you are an animal lovers, it would be a paradise for you there.
Yeah. So is there any places that where you can actually see wild animal for free?
Oh, yes. Actually, what I know is 2 places, but I believe there probably be more place to see animal for free. What we went is Kaikoura. Actually, at first, we planned to see the whale there, but that costs money and it's like a little bit expensive. My sister say, okay, we can go somewhere else to see the seal. And it's for free. They just live there and you can go, it's beside the sea. So they have a path, you can walk by the path, and along the path you can see some seals on the rock, and they looks like super chill. They just
Are they
like,
very close?
Yeah.
Super close? Like maybe
I can show
5
you.
meters?
Actually, they have a little boundary. The sign will say you can't cross this like boundary, but the seals, if they want, they can cross the boundary. So you might get close with them. At first, we just saw one, and everyone is like taking picture of it. And as we like walk along further, the path is like showed up.
More?
Yeah, more. Actually, it's a bunch of them. Like they're just sleeping and chilling there, and I think people were jealous about their life.
Oh, that is not that far. So they can cross over the boundary?
They can cross that, but we can't cross.
All right.
They're not that afraid of people if you like have a distance with them.
So they're basically just like pigeon.
I think pigeon is probably way more not afraid of people, but I think what is pigeon in New Zealand is their seagull.
Oh.
There is seagull everywhere, and I think the seagull in New Zealand just like pigeon in Taiwan, but they are more aggressive.
Oh,
They will try to sometimes
so
steal
scary.
your. That's another story. When we went to Haikura on the road, we went to eat a lobster. And it also is like beside the sea, I think. So there is a lot of seagulls there. And I think the seagull is quite smart. So they were gathering like beside the people. When you have a table, you have food there, they would just wait there and see if you leave, they will try to eat your food. And the rule is like you need to clean up the table by yourself after you finish the food. But I think some customer just probably
Leave the food there.
Yeah, they don't see it or they don't know that. So there is a customers like they leave without cleaning their table, so they have some leftover food on the table. And when they just left, the seagull was like rushing to the food.
Oh my god.
It was so horrible.
How many seagulls?
Probably 5 or
That's a lot.
yeah, I have the clips.
Oh my god, that's horrifying. Oh my
They were
god.
just like some gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think seagulls in New Zealand are just like gangster.
Right.
Yeah.
That's scary.
But the lobster is good though.
Uh,
Yeah, I think the seafood in New Zealand is
It's quite good.
Yeah, it's all quite good.
Because I heard of that. Most of the shops in New Zealand, they close very early though.
Oh,
so is there
yeah.
any nightlife things that you can do there?
Yes, I think in some city place you would have. The most shop is closed by 5 p.m.
That's so early.
Yeah, so it's like a little bit frustrating. It's when we arrive some towns when we try to have some dinner and they close or something. Yeah, so it's sad about that. But they still have some night activity. I went to one, but when I was in Wellington, they have a small town. I think it's Cuba Street. They have a Cuba Street. There is a lot of like bars or like restaurant. They will stay up for late a bit.
So those places, just like for you, it feels like more for tourists or for local people there.
Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure. But I think for New Zealand, there is a really tourism place. Probably a lot of tourists will visit there too. Because I believe that it must be some tourists, they want to experience the nightlife.
Right.
Yeah, so what I saw it cool is like they have bars, they have a karaoke night. Yeah, but I didn't went into it because like my mother and sister are quite exhausted. But what I went to is when we went to Auckland, we went to I think it's just a bar and they have a jazz performance. I think it's quite good. It's a really small revenue. So you will be very close to the performance. Everything is just very chill, very good.
Well, I don't know, but I think if I'm really going to visit New Zealand and that place is like well known for its like very beautiful natural landscape, I would try to focus on
More exciting.
Yeah, and I think just like as you said, like you spend a lot of time on traveling, like changing the spots by spot. So basically, like maybe all your energy was putting on that. So maybe during the nighttime, you probably just want to go home and rest though.
Oh yeah. Actually, that night I was quite struggle if I'm gonna to go that jazz bar because that night I feels like I'm getting a cold. And I was pretty tired. It was the last night, for our journey. But I was just like, oh no, I haven't like been to any like music performance. I must go there. And I was very happily I did went there because it was really, really good. And I saw, the different side of Auckland. You still can find very artsy or very young youthful side in that city, in that country. I think it's not a boring country. Some people will think, probably New Zealand is just a boring country if you're not interesting in outdoor like activity. But actually, I think they still have a lot of cultural activity you can participating in if you do some research.
Right.
Yeah, and actually they have a lot of museum or gallery. Yeah, if you have time, actually they have a lot of things to do.
Right.
For me, it's like the most famous thing there is like the view. So I must see the view.
Right. So like if you are going to recommend someone who is like, want to go travel there, what kind of suggestion or what kind of, reference or direction that you would tell them like?
I think first of all is spend more time. And if you are an outdoor lover, I think there is like a bunch of things you can do. Like I think hiking will be a very good things to do, but actually we don't have the time to do that. But when we travel there, we meet some people, like some tourists too. They do hiking, and I think it's quite a good choice because hiking is free. So I think hiking is like the most do things there. If you are a brave people, you can do some extreme activity like skydiving or jumping or something. They're really
bungee jumping.
Oh yeah, bungee jumping. I didn't do any because because it's too scary. Also, I haven't mentioned that we actually go to a cave tour to see the glowworm. Yeah, it's very beautiful and it's a little bit exciting. You need to like float into a very small river inside the cave if you want to see some beautiful things and also wanted to feel a little bit excitement. Yeah, it would be a good choice.
Right.
So overall, I think New Zealand is very suitable for someone who love nature or like outdoor activity. Yeah, it would be really, really good place to visit. It was so chill and beautiful. And also, I think a lot of people say that if you're going to retire, you can move to New Zealand.
Oh.
It was a very chill country. And yes, I agree with that. The people, it was very friendly and the air is very fresh there. If you love this kind of stuff, you can visit New Zealand.
Nature lover, extreme sport lover, outdoor lover, retired people. Okay.
I think everyone should go there if you have chance.
Right.
So this is my 10 days of New Zealand travel journey. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So if you have any questions, if you are planning to go to New Zealand, just feel free to ask us about any questions. You can DM us on Instagram or you can leave a comment.
Okay, so I think this will be our episode today. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.